Do you get overwhelmed when you think about starting a plant-based diet? Well, get your paper and pen. I'm going to walk you through the first few weeks so that you have a solid foundation so you can reach your goals and get healthier. I'm Stephanie. I made this change 25 years ago, and it was rough. It was back in the day before YouTube and Vegan Cookbook. I made all the mistakes, but eventually I figured it out, and I started helping other people make the same change. I am going to share my step-by-step plan with you that has helped hundreds of people start a plant-based diet and reach their health goal. I've also created a downloadable PDF, the ultimate guide to going plant-based, with recipes, tips and tricks, and everything you need to get started on a plant-based diet. Before we get to the plan though, we need to figure out your why. Everybody has a different reason. Why do you want to go plant-based? Maybe you've heard you can lose weight on a plant-based diet. Maybe you've had a health scare and you want to be around for your kids and your grandkids and you heard a plant-based diet can help. Or it's possible that you just want to feel better. And a plant-based diet can help with all those things. Take a minute to think about the real reason that you want to adopt a plant-based diet. Have your why clear in your mind because it will help you as you get through the tough parts of going plant-based. Keeping that why foremost in your mind will help you reach your goals. When most people adopt a plant-based diet, they do it without a plan. They go into their kitchen, they clean out their refrigerator, their pantry, and they sit there eating peanut butter and jelly because they don't know what else to eat. Or worse yet, your husband or your kids or your wife come home and freak out because they didn't want to go on a plant-based diet and start pulling their stuff out of the trash. The first thing you need to do is write down all of the meals that you already eat that are plant-based or almost plant-based and put those on a piece of paper. Research shows that Americans eat the same 12 meals over and over again. So really, we're looking for 12 meals that we can start with. If you don't have any of those meals, don't worry, I'll give you some ideas. There's lots of blogs and YouTube videos to get some inspiration. I also have recipes in the downloadable PDF. You want to make this change slowly so you don't get overwhelmed and give up. You also don't want to scare away your family. We want them to give this plant-based diet a try. We know from research that their support is necessary for your success. Number one is to have one entire day of plant-based eating. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all plant-based. Maybe call it Plant-Based Monday. It doesn't really have to be Monday. It could be any day of the week. One day, completely plant-based from breakfast to... Ask your family to join you. Be clear on your why and let them know you need their support. They can eat anything else they want during the rest of the week, but that one day, ask them to join you for being plant-based. If you don't have family around, you can ask a friend to support you. Having support will increase your chances of reaching your goals. Here are some ideas for your first plant-based day. For breakfast, try something super easy, like oatmeal and fruit, or a smoothie with toast with peanut butter or avocado on it. If you like a more savory breakfast, you can try something like scrambled tofu. For lunch, try some minestrone soup with a nice piece of whole grain bread or tofu egg salad sandwich. If you typically go out for lunch, you can try a Chipotle burrito bowl with brown rice instead of white and take off the cheese. For supper, we're still keeping it easy. Maybe something like spaghetti with marinara sauce and a nice salad, or a curry over brown rice. Our second goal for week one is to start crowding out those unhealthy foods. To do that, we're going to increase our intake of fruits and vegetables. Before each meal, eat one whole vegetable. So maybe an apple before breakfast or a banana. And at lunchtime, you'll eat your salad before you eat your other food. This will help crowd out the unhealthy foods and start filling you up with healthy foods. We want to do this to start changing our taste buds and help our bodies to get used to this new way of eating. Taking it slow like this will help alleviate some of the bloating and gas people get when they start a plant-based diet because their bodies aren't used to all that extra fiber. We don't have to get rid of all of the unhealthy foods yet. This is going to help you fill up with healthy foods and eat less of the unhealthy foods. Plus, you're going to get lots of health benefits from eating lots of fruits and vegetables. If you think you don't like vegetables, it's okay. Do what you can, but we need to start working on changing our taste buds. So for phase 2, we have 2 more goals. We're going to add 1 more day of plant-based eating. So if you already have a plant-based Monday, then add a plant-based Thursday. While you're doing that, I also want you to start some research on new recipes you may like. Check out the blogs and YouTube channels, get a new cookbook, go to the library. The second goal for phase 2 is to switch out our refined grains for whole grains. So make sure that your breads, your bagels, your tortillas are all made with whole grains. Switch out the white rice for the brown rice. You need to be careful. Sometimes those marketers aren't completely honest. So check the label and see if the first ingredient is whole grain. That's what you're looking for when you're buying bread, tortillas, or bagels. Also, some people don't like brown rice because it doesn't seem to get fluffy. There is a way to make that fluffier by browning the rice in the skillet first. It kind of pops a little bit like popcorn, and then when you cook it, it's nice and fluffy. You can also use quinoa or other whole grains. So for phase 2, we're adding a second day of full plant-based meals, and we're switching out our refined grains for whole grains for week 2. But I need to make a little note here. If you need to take this slower, instead of doing it every week, make this phase every month, that might be easier. It's important that you take it slow at your own pace so that you don't get overwhelmed and give up. It's better to take it slow than to go back to your old way of eating. You'll never reach your goals if you give up. Remember your why. Post it on your refrigerator so you can remember why you're doing this. It'll help you stick to it. So finally, we're on to phase 3. So as you might expect, we're going to add one more day of plant-based eating. But beyond that, we're going to take it easy. Keep eating more fruits and vegetables with your meal, one before and at least one during the meal. Keep eating your whole grains instead of your refined grains. And try to find at least 2 to 3 new recipes that you want to try and add to your lineup. Remember, we're only looking for 12 recipes. I would suggest that you start taking a 10 to 15 minute walk after each meal. This is going to help you regulate your blood sugar, increase your movement, and improve your results exponentially. I know it's hard to get out because it's January, but do what you can. Walk around the house, get a treadmill, climb up and down your stairs, or just walk in place for 10 minutes while you're watching your favorite show. If you do what you can and just get 1% better, that's your key to success. For phase 4, we're going to add one more day of plant-based eating. That puts you over halfway towards a plant-based diet. At this point, you're probably running into some ideas or obstacles that are getting in your way of success. If you are, you might want to watch this video about the 5 mistakes I made when I first went vegan.